Hello everyone. If you're thinking of becoming a forward deployed engineer and thinking of what are the tasks a forward deployed engineer have to do in their day-to-day work life, then this video is for you. For this session, we have a special speaker with us, Ishita Misra, who is a forward deployed engineer at HackerRank. She is going to break down the interview process of a forward deployed engineer and what are the tech stacks required for a candidate applying for a forward deployed engineer role, and also go through the day-to-day tasks that a forward deployed engineer have to do. You can also share your questions in the comment that you want to answer by her, and she will definitely take some of the questions at the end of the session. So without any further delay, let's begin the session.
So today I'm here to share my story. How did I start off, and how did my journey begin here at HackerRank? So I was nothing different from you. I was in college when I also started to like apply to internships and job roles where I was struggling, and this is where I think you are at. So I think this is the exact place where I was in when I started to apply for internships. So before starting off, good morning everyone. And before I start to say anything about my career, I want you to know one thing about this talk, that it is not going to be something a very highlighted reel or something kind of like that. There is one line that I would like to share is that in this talk I would talk about that the road is rarely straight, and that's the only honest point, or the only honest part of this talk I'll be talking about. So I'd quickly like to share my screen to you. And quick housekeeping, this is meant to be a conversation, not a lecture at all. So maybe you can just open up your mics and put your questions or your answers in the chat section. And I'm going to want you to actually answer, not just nod. So I think we are good to go now. Yep. So, hi everyone, my name is Ishita, and right now I'm working as a forward deployed engineer at HackerRank. And if this title sounds you something made up, so don't worry about it because I'm going to explain it to you properly later. But honestly, it didn't even exist when I was in college, when I started my college, and uh, from where I can tell you the shorter version for this. This role sits between engineering and the customer facing people. So who actually, and what I do is I'm half developer and half translator. But that's the job title we actually want to talk about today is everything how I made this happen and how you can make this happen. So let's start where you are probably right now, because this is where I was too. I was struggling between DSAs, resumes, and that pressure felt at 1 a.m. instead. So you know the drill, I think, because everyone is struggling between the striver sheet loop, and hundreds of problems that you actually start to feel like the same, but with different set of clothes you're wearing. And I have been actually updating my resume for every job I applied to. So if I had applied like 10 job roles in a day, I had 10 different versions of my resume. So that is one thing I can point you out, that not every role is the same. You should not have one resume for every role. Keep updating, click to keywords, stick to the keywords that are there in the job description, put up put it up in your resume, and I think that you're good to go then. So, what happened was the first ever interview I gave was for HackerRank, and it was for a software development intern role. And I remember I prepped harder for that one round that happened, and everything else I wanted to sum up there, because I wanted this is the first interview and I should crack it, and this is the end of my life where I'm going to bring all in, and I'll be there at HackerRank as a software development intern. But story changed and it didn't happen. I was rejected after having my first technical round, and that was something I didn't expect, and I actually was very much demotivated about that. But I didn't give up. I had faith in me. I started pushing myself where I was wrong there, and I went on polishing myself, and all these things became like deep voices in my head that actually, am I even fit for this, what I'm doing, and is this something I'm going to make ahead in life, and what am I going to make out of it. So this is something which started happening, but suddenly at one night when I was about to sleep, I received a mail from HackerRank CTO itself asking for an opportunity for become a forward deployed engineer intern there. And I didn't want to mess it up because the first internship or first interview offer I got was from HackerRank itself, and I wanted to make it the last one. So I tried putting up all in. Like that rejection at that point didn't just close a door, like it just opened a much noise in my head. So this time I wanted to make it like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And here's the part I didn't see coming, because this was an opportunity that landed somewhere at night, and even one day that I wasn't even expecting to come. But getting that mail wasn't just the turning point. What changed before the email is what actually mattered. This time I showed up very different, not just louder, but not just more confident even. But this time I was just fully present. One more shot, and whatever happens, happens. Like, this is not going to define who I am. I just prepared for it like anything. Like, I was up for a whole night. And this was just one day. I got only one day before preparing for that interview. And I was like all in. I was up for all night. I tried everything. And I think look at that shift. When I look at that shift now, I was there to prove myself that I'm not good enough, but I was preparing myself from where I had started, and that I had actually come up very long way. And I wanted to prove myself in this interview, where we had the same interviewer. Like, the first round was the CTO itself, and I had already interviewed for the software engineer intern role, and I wanted to prove him that this time I have come very well prepared. So now this time, while I was going through all of this, something else was happening in the background that affected every single one of you. I think I I was actually very much immensely happy when I got the role, and I think this is where I want you to relate, where not just one rejection or 10 rejection in life can define you. You should always be ready for something unexpected to happen. This was like just a magic to me that happened to me, and I didn't even expect for it to come. So this is something I really want you to relate, that be prepared all time. There is something from maybe from left or right that can come up to you, and that is it. That's the role you are going to go on. And I think what really helped me here is just the consistency I had followed. I think you're in college, and everybody is going to like friends hangout or something like that. I used to do that too, but I made sure when I came back, I didn't do 10 questions a day, but to keep myself consistent, I should at least do one question, and that is where that stick to me. I started from like in my and I didn't even start my DSA very early in college. I was like end of second year, and when I started to work on my DSA skills, and I just started with two questions a day, where I was still struggling into that, where even one question was solved, and even I had to stretch that one question to maybe 3 days where I couldn't solve it. But I didn't take any help. I was actually like just discussing it through with my friends, where I could not understand, and if they were able to, they would explain it to me. And that's how I think you should always do, because the friends you make in college are something that are going to help you out throughout the placement season also. And when you will be demotivated, or when you will be depressed thinking they are getting the internship offer, they are getting the job offer, they are going to be there with you. So stick to them, ask for help, don't be shy about it, because I think they are also facing the same issues that you are in. Maybe you know something and they don't, so you can help them out, and maybe they know something and you can do that vice versa. And also, one thing I want to share today is that it's not like we have figured out everything, but what here I'm working is I expected something to be like the software developer role, but it is not just the same because I think everyone knows as AI has arrived and building has got easier. Like everybody can make something out of it, like doing vibe coding. So the need of solvers has grown. And I think something to really invest on is your critical thinking and communication skills. And that is two things that happened at once. I think the bar has dropped because AI has made shipping very trivial. That is a working prototype is a weekend now. It's not like a semester where you are putting all in and you're preparing or building something. But anything you are doing out of curiosity, if you're taking an AI's help, at least know all the things you are putting up in a project. Because whenever you put a project in your resume, it is going to be asked. Like, I'll tell you one of my instances where I was working on a project and I had like not completely white coded, but yeah, I had taken a few instances from an AI, taking help of an AI, and that interviewer actually asked me to go through the code, like whole code, and they would just point out through one line and ask me like, what is this, what is this, what does this line do, what syntax is this doing. So it's like, if you are taking you are doing vibe coding, you should at least know what code you're putting up. And that is what I actually do at HackerRank also now. So we are forward deployed engineers, and we fit actually exactly between the engineering and the customer facing roles. So what we have to do, whenever a customer comes up with a requirement, we do not directly forward it to the engineering team, but we are there to write custom scripts for them and maybe custom features for them specifically for that customer. And I'll tell you one of the things. I am working on Ruby on Rails right now, and I had never ever even studied that in my college. I knew about Ruby, but I was not sure what Ruby on Rails does and what framework it is and things like that. And I started to like take out the scripts from using an AI. And one day, one of my managers pointed that out, and they got to know because they are very much into Ruby on Rails. And they pointed out, if you're taking Ruby on, like you're taking out the script using an AI, you should actually know one and all, like line by line. You should know that lines, know that scripting, and it's not like you are taking the help of AI. That is really good because everybody here in this market now is using AI. We are also providing AI assistance to the candidates also for attempting the assessments. So I think that's not bad, but at least you should know what you're putting up in front of anyone. And that is something that will make you stand out from everyone else. Work on your critical thinking skills, communication skills, and just go all in. Make your technical basics stronger because that is what is the first thing you'll be asked in your interviews. DSA is the most foremost thing you have to learn. And I think I was also not very good at DSA, but actually I knew how to approach a problem, and that really helped me out. And today, that is one thing I'm doing. I'm finding out solutions for each and every problem that comes up to me. And that is what forward deployed engineers actually do. We are putting up like all the solutions to a problem where most of the people actually think that it is not possible. And we are here putting up all those solutions at one go. So I think you all are in the right phase where you should start all of these things. Please polish your communication skills. That is going to help you. Critical thinking. I think you are solving DSA problems. That is one thing you will be good to go. And that is where you'll be very much familiar with the environment you'll be going to be working on. And please use AI, because something like build some AI based projects and add it to your resume. That is also going to make you stand out. Because when I was applying to internships, I saw the difference where few of my friends had AI based projects in their resumes and I didn't. So I started and built one that was a CRM based project. That was a customer relationship management project. So you work on LLMs, work on some RAG-based models and things like that. So that is also going to be one of the key things you should learn. I'm not telling you go and learn all the languages, but at least you should know two basic languages in which you are solving a DSA problem. Or maybe I think one is also enough for you to crack a job. But if you know two, that is going to make a difference for you. I think Python is, and maybe some other language you are working on, that is going to make it for you. Invest in some projects, take like also take keynotes on web development. That is also something you'll be very much helpful in. And yeah, these were the two things I worked on. So nothing different from what you'll be working on too. But I think the only change that has happened is the AI that has come up very much instant. I think if you might have attended HackerRank assessments, you may have also seen AI assistants in your assessments. Is there anyone who has seen an AI assistant in an assessment right now? Like you can raise your hands or something like that. Because we have started to provide, and it is just to see your prompting skills, how you actually prompt an AI assistant, and are you actually, and how well is your collaboration and your critical thinking with the AI. And this is something what we like the market is also seeing, and most of the interviewers are also judging a candidate on. So if you have an AI assistant, use that in your assessment, because that is going to help you. Not just help you, but also going to make the interviewer understand that you're also good at using AI. And the prompts you'll provide, they'll judge you on that, how well you are giving prompts. Like, are those just vague prompts or just actually something related to technical, where you're not just asking for problem solution, but you are also thinking critically and working on the collaboration with the AI. And also, one more key point I would just add on: don't just accept any answers provided by AI. Always try to push back and ask few more follow-up questions to it, like what is the other approach that you can go through, or why did the AI go on a particular approach? Is there any other approach you are thinking of? Explain it to the AI. That is also one thing we actually see in an maybe assessment, where we see if the candidate is actually pushing back what AI's output is, or are they actually accepting and untrusting the AI, and without even blinking, they are just accepting and going with the solution that AI has provided. So that are like 2 3 key points I would like to highlight. Work on those skills. And so when you are here, one serious note before we open the floor for you all to give ask up questions to me, because I take this personally, and AI can be wrong at several times, and you are responsible for whatever you are shipping. So four things I want to highlight here, and that has to be non-negotiable. Understand whatever you are shipping. So if you can't explain what your code works, and without an AI, that is something you should work on. Second can be AI. I have already talked a lot about it, because AI hallucinates a lot of times, and so you should be aware of whatever questions you're asking to an AI, and will you be able to answer it back, or are you just asking for the sake of knowing something? But you should actually be keen on, or you should have that curiosity, what the AI is providing to you. So these are the keynotes. I think also you should work on APIs, because this is the best time you can work. When I came here, I had to deal a lot of with APIs here, and I think you should invest sometimes working on AI APIs. That is one thing I want to highlight. And yeah, these are the few things I want to discuss here. And also, I know you all are in college, you are enjoying your best time of your life. I miss my college friends, and I miss my college too. So when you are working on something, don't just invest in that. Don't just debug your codes, at least debug your lives too, because this is the time when this is not going to come back. Your friends will not be all together. Trust me on that, because when we are trying to put all my friends at one go, and like I'm here in Bangalore, and I try to ask my friends to come here, because they are all in different parts of India right now. So it is not possible for you all to come like so often meet each other. put some time where you are going to actually phrase those memories into like actually something really good, and bring some time out of your studies. Uh, enjoy with your friends, but also be consistent on whatever you are doing. Have patience and have hope in yourself, because the hard work will eventually going to like actually will pay off to you. Not just like, don't be upset on maybe you got rejected in 3 interviews, 4 interviews. I got rejected in 6 interviews, and that was something where I had lost hopes. And here I am today, like actually in one of the very good companies I had dreamt of. So don't be demotivated about it. You are going to make it through, and have patience, have hope. Uh, trust your friends and family. They are the best supporters you'll ever have. Follow some advices. Maybe you can. I didn't like going up to my college professors because I had some fear in me. But maybe if you have those kind of professors where you can actually sit and talk out to them, they are also going to help you out you a lot. So take your seniors' help, take your peers' help, and that is something you will be good in that. Have patience, have much more confidence, work on your communication skills, be consistent, and you'll get through it, and you'll fly off. And I think that is something I want to tell you here. I think I've covered all these slides. I have spoke a lot. Yeah, I think now the floor is all open to you. And yeah, that's something that's there on the slide is anyone can build today. But engineers who actually understand the problem are the only ones who create real impact. And that is something what I was talking about. Think on like work on your critical thinking skills, communication skills, and when you are able to achieve a solution to a problem, that is where you are going to make the real impact. So just work on it and things will be fine. And I think if you have any questions, you can just open up your mics, you can ask, and maybe you can put in chat also. Thank you so much for having me here.
It was really an insightful session from you, man. Hearing from you about your whole journey, how you cracked interviews, how you got rejected, and build yourself again, rebuild yourself, your skills. So basically, I had also gone through the assessment through the AI Chakra interview, and
Okay.
from that only I got selected in this. So
Hmm.
I know how that means this new AI related interviews that is currently being linked with companies, how HackerRank connects with companies and selects students, shortlist them. So it is really means a nice tool of HackerRank. And for that token-based issues, you have told that AI, how to use AI in our projects. So I had just gone through the weekly challenges of HackerRank, and in that there is a nice initiative by HackerRank how to help students reduce the use of tokens, right? So I just means I am just sharing this to all my peers and friends so that they can also use this tool of HackerRank. So basically, you have to give your prompt in such a way that it will use less number of tokens. Because nowadays tokens are very expensive, as you can see that GHC, GitHub Copilot, and Claude Opus, how they are using their prompts and tokens like bullets in a gun. So we have to optimize our prompts and get our solutions in such a way that they will take less tokens, and HackerRank is playing a major role in solving those issues. So thank you, ma'am, for all this. And I am asking my friends if you have any doubts. Ma'am is the right person to ask because we are all there in our third years only, and most of us are set to crack our entry level placements by clearing the DS round only. So please ask ma'am if you have any doubts.
Also, if you are giving a prompt to an AI where you have to like build something, or you are like asking a solution to a problem, you can prompt the AI by putting up a role to them. So what I do, I provide a role to an AI. and I give the full context, what I'm targeting, what is the impact I want, and how the output should be shaped in. So these are the 4 points I use my prompt writing skills to be. Uh, this actually helps, and the AI, you should give all the context in the first prompt you are giving it to him. Because the more context you provide in your first prompt, the AI is going to less hallucinate that time and is going to mostly provide you with the correct answers in the first go. You will not be just utilizing more of your tokens and actually giving or correcting the AI in the second prompt or the third prompt. So provide as much context at the first prompt itself, and you will achieve the solution. But also one thing, just be very clear on what you are asking to the AI. You should at least know some gist of it. So you are able to understand what solution they are providing, and you can just push back and also ask some follow-up questions to it.
Ma'am, I see Suvasis has one doubt in the chat section. Can you please clear that?
Understanding, what do I mean by understand the problem is like, I'll take one of my examples where I was asked to build a specific chatbot for a customer, and I didn't understand what knowledge base I have to provide because I didn't clear it with the customer itself. And that actually created a bit chaos. So I think what I mean by understanding the problem is like, don't just ask the AI and whatever answer I'm getting back, don't just rely on it. At least spend some time understanding what the problem is exactly trying to say. Let's take an example of a DSA problem where you are going to solve the problem. You read out the solution, you actually take some time what approach you are going to follow. You think of the brute force approach, and then you think of the optimize approach. So that is what I meant here is, take some time, understand the problem very well, think on it, think deeply, what are the exact loops or what are the algorithms you are going to use here. So that is how you can understand the problem. Spend some time over the like problem statement itself, and you will achieve the solution. And that is only the basic thing that I'm trying to say here. It's not very complex. Understanding the problem is spending some time, read out the problem statement, and yeah. Any more questions, anyone? And what I can also tell you here is, you should at least like, there are a lot of companies who actually hire freshers from hackathons only. So also apply to hackathons, where I missed few of my like opportunities just not by applying to hackathons, because maybe I can name some companies. One is Cisco. Cisco conducts code with Cisco, and few of my friends got selected from that, and I didn't apply to it, and I regretted it very later. Ericsson organizes a hackathon, and they actually hire freshers from there only. Walmart hires freshers from their hackathon. So apply to hackathons, not just openings that are available on LinkedIn or somewhere. Look out for hackathons that are going on, and that will also that will also help you end up to an internship offer.
And ma'am, I have one question. Like in our third year, we are now hunting for internships to get a proper remote internship and an on-site, either or remote or a proper on-site internship. So we are currently searching in LinkedIn's or on stuff. Is there any other platforms that you know, or in how to approach an HR by sending cold emails? Like, what is the procedure, means proper procedure to get an internship?
Okay. So I didn't apply to a lot of websites. I was just relying on LinkedIn. And I think for me, it worked out, not for all, because my friends were actually applying to Unstop, Naukri, and few other platforms like that, Glassdoor even. For me, LinkedIn worked out for me, where I used to send cold emails, cold messages to for referrals and things. So also, I think that also helped out for me, where I approached a lot of connections on my LinkedIn, and I asked him for referrals. Uh, but HackerRank was something very, very different, where I didn't land up any referrals or things like that, but I actually landed up here. But yeah, you can approach on LinkedIn. You can send up cold messages, cold emails to some HRs. Maybe you can find it. There are a lot of like LinkedIn followers where they actually provide HR emails to you. Look out for, like, put some keyword there like HR mails or things like that, and you'll find a list of HR emails, and you can send out cold emails to them. Cold emails didn't work out for me because I was not very consistent on that too. But actually cold messages worked for me on LinkedIn. And there are a lot more websites. I just know few which I worked on. That was Unstop, Naukri, Glassdoor, and mostly I relied on LinkedIn. I used to apply to like 20 jobs a day in my fourth year when I was like very much frustrated. I used to apply to 20 job roles a day on LinkedIn itself. So yeah, I think not the platform that matters. I think wherever you are supposed to go, you will end up there. So yeah, that is the like that's something that didn't work for all of us, but like for me, LinkedIn worked for me. Yeah. Like, what does day-to-day responsibility of forward is like? Is it similar to a full stack role? Like forward deployed engineers is like something very different. I also came across. I also thought it was just like developers will be sitting and coding, but we are not just coding. We are also going out to customers front, and we are explaining those solutions what we have come up with. So I'll also tell you something. I coming out from college, I didn't expect like things to. I didn't expect myself to go into some on-site customer meetings or things like that. But I actually went to Mintra's office for a meeting, and I met the Mintra CTO over there. And talking to him was like different experience. He had so much experience and knowledge. The questions he was trying to put up, that was something very great. Like for forward deployed engineers, it's mostly like you are putting up custom things for customers. What engineers or software developers are doing is actually they are coding for the platform itself. But what we are doing is we are actually building something custom, like as per the requirements we are given by the customer. So suppose they want a very different feature for themselves only that is not available on our platform, and no other customer is using, no other companies are using, and they want specifically for them. So we are there to build it for them. And maybe day-to-day workflow, what we are doing is we are getting on calls with customers to explaining what HackerRank does, and what is the approach they need to follow to like integrate HackerRank to their systems. And these are the basic things that forward deployed engineers do in day to day. So we are actually putting up solutions, giving solutions to a customer on their specific requirements. I think if you know basics of ML, that will work for you now, because you're just freshers right now, and nobody is going to ask you things very much in depth. But I think development, and even if you know some basics of these DevOps skills or AWS, or even if you like, I was specialization in AWS cloud, so I knew AWS and DevOps few things. AWS was something I was very keen to learn, so I was interested there. AI did not work upon that much. I built only two projects. One was a chatbot, and one was a CRM based platform where I used LLMs and RAG based models. So I think not necessary, but at least you should know basic things about it. If you're asked something, you should not be blank. So yeah, I think even if you know development and things, APIs, etc., so you'll be good to go.
Ma'am, I have also a doubt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, like you mentioned the importance of having different versions of a resume. So,
Hmm.
like when we tailor a resume for a specialized engineering role,
Hmm.
like how can we incorporate the right keywords so that we pass the initial screening? Because nowadays most of the jobs use an ATS parser, so it doesn't
Yeah.
look like we have stuffed the keyword and like the the ATS thinks that yes, this person knows about it.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, can you give us insight?
Yeah. So what happens is in the job description, you'll be giving like ton of skills there, and whatever aligns to your resume, just put those skills if you actually know them. Like what I used to do, imagine if there's front end and back end skills, and few of them I know, like maybe I know React from front end, and I'm working on Node. So I'll put that in the resume. There are critical thinking and maybe soft skills that are mentioned. You can put those up in your resume as well. Maybe you can just give the job description and your resume to Claude or maybe ChatGPT or whichever AI model you are working on, and ask to compare the keywords and give it to you. That will actually help you out, and like not just exaggerating what you have in your resume, but aligning to what you have in your resume. Just align that to the job description, and maybe AI would help you there. That is what I used to do. I used to put up on that time Perplexity was on rise, like back in December, November, and that was really on rise. So we used to just go on Claude or ChatGPT, put my job description resume there, and ask to give me a version. And I used the latex version of my resume, so I used to copy that code from there and used to put in the latex format, and I got the resume that way. So you can also do it. Just add any AI to bring out the important keywords from a job description, and you can align it to your resume.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. Um, Jyoti has a question. If a task is simple, how do you avoid giving too much context and wasting tokens? Jyoti, that is what I mentioned here. Provide as much context you can provide in the first prompt itself, and maybe you can go on go on Google and just type it out how to write a prompt, and it will give you four or five steps where you actually provide a role to a AI, what is the context, provide examples to AI in the first prompt. So it gets used to what we are asking, and we do not have to provide any new prompt every time. So that is how you can save as many tokens. Because in the first question, if in the first prompt, if you're providing relevant examples to it, relevant context, what are you targeting, and what is the context for this, why do you want to achieve this output, I think AI would get into the first go only, so you will not be providing many and many more prompts. So that is how you can also save it. In your job, you must be working on clients' existing, usually messy code. How do you train yourself to read, understand people's code quickly? Yeah, so I take the AI's help here. I'll be very honest. I put that code base into my Claude code. We are actually working on terminal like Claude code, CLI based Claudes. So we put that code base there, and then we try to filter out what we are trying to achieve. Are we building a feature for them, or we are debugging, or we are fixing a bug there? So we just put it on Claude, try to get as much context, read if some. I think mostly we get in JavaScript or languages like that. So you can just read out and basic. I think JS is the most basic thing you will be learning in web development. I hope so. So you can. That's very easily when you ask AI, no, it will really simplify it and give it to you. So I just break down the code base and achieve what, like I ask it to achieve what I'm trying to achieve, and yeah, I directly get into it. Like it's not that tough. When you are actually using AI, it's become simpler. It's nothing you have to train for some different code base. So yeah, that is very simple. You can ask if AI is help for that, because you can't spend like 2-3 days on one code base itself, because every day we get new requirements from a customer. Every day we are dealing with something new. So that is how we use AI. Can you suggest some project ideas? Project ideas, I think, it's based on what preferences or what technologies you are preferring to use. What I built was I was working with AWS, so I built a AWS-based project where I use S3 buckets, and yeah, it was more like a file upload system where it was not using much more space in my system itself, but I was actually storing it in the S3 buckets. And I built a AI-based system. I built a healthcare system because health technology was very much rising last year too. So I built that. Maybe you can just figure out what you are actually interested in, and you can put up some ideas and try to brainstorm it yourself with ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is something that is really built for research. And put your ideas into ChatGPT, what you are trying to achieve, and it will bring up and enhance those ideas, refresh it, and provide it to you. So that is how you can also take help from there. Because suggesting my project ideas would nothing be helpful for you, because I worked on some different tech stack maybe, and I had some different approach, different project ideas. You may have some different tech stack you're working on, and some different technology. So you can just ask ChatGPT, brainstorm there, and you can get some brilliant ideas from it. What mistakes do freshers most commonly make on LinkedIn, and how I can build meaningful connections on LinkedIn as a fresher? Meaningful connections is nothing. I used to just type a company's name and look for developers and just randomly send connections. I used to even like achieve that limit where you can't even send more connections. So I have also done that. Uh, it's nothing like it's nowhere meaningful connections. You can reach out to any developers. HRs are mostly very much busy, so they don't usually respond back very quick. Uh, but yeah, you can try also connecting to like recruiters or HRs or talent acquisitions. So, and then also, like, I didn't do that much. Where like I saw my fellow mates putting up their DSA journeys, and like put up your lead code score, code forces score. You can do that. Invest in some good certifications, not too much, but maybe one, two also works where you have good knowledge. Uh, and yeah, show up yourself on LinkedIn. Not every day, but at least twice in a month you should post something. And that is the least. My friends used to do every day. You should at least make yourself visible there, and reach out to LinkedIn connections. Don't be shy about it. Not every day, not everyone would respond in one go, but eventually when they see, they'll respond to you back. So yeah, that one thing you can follow. In which area one should focus more to get a good internship, like with which skills one must learn? Skills is based on again your tech preference, but DSA and web development is something very basic you should start off with, because I think you all are giving coding assessments also now, and you would see the first question is very much basic, that is the coding fundamentals. So DSA is the foremost thing you should learn. Web development is also because we are providing questions like debugging and feature building or product development. So web development and DSA is the two more foremost things you should learn in your college to land a good internship. What's one mistake most freshers make while preparing for software engineering or AI roles? There's no mistake, but I would just say we like freshers actually are not consistent in what they are doing. If you actually get hold of your DSS skills, you are going to kick off. Like I have seen myself struggling for a lot many days when I didn't get even one question correct, and I was struggling for 3 days continuously on solving one question. When I like stuck to it, when I started solving more and more questions, like digging deep, trying to understand what it is the problem is trying to stay, and how can I approach it, what is the brute force method I'll apply, and what is the optimized approach. And yeah, that is one thing. There's no specific mistake as freshers you are doing. Just stick to whatever technology you are using, stick to it, get a hold of it, And like if you're asked a question about it, you should not be blank there, you should not be thinking upon it, you should have the answer right away. So like if you're not working on too many skills but even one of it, let's just grab it and like hug it to yourself and be prepared on it. And that is the only thing that is going to help you. What is the optimal time to see think of any approach? I am an absolute beginner in DFN, just starting in DFN now. What are optimal solutions? Uh, sh- uh, what is the optimal time to see a solution or I think I'm not exactly getting to your question, but I think what you're trying to say here is you see the optimal time solution, like optimal time using your loops or how many things you're using in a code. It's based on that. When you are trying to solve a DSA solution or question and you're completely beginner to it, I think whatever language you are using, you should know that if you're using Java or CPP, you should first dig on that language, know its basics well, then move on to algorithms where you can what you can do is you can actually take YouTube's help, where I didn't see the full solution, but I used to only know what the algorithm is trained on and how it is working. And then I used to take a paper and then I used to actually write it down how it is working, how the question is being asked to me, and how what approach I can apply to there. And I used to have a full notebook. On each page I used to put up every question and I used to solve it I used to not write code at one go. I used to first write it in my copy and then use it in the coding platform. So I think when you're a beginner, you should actually understand the basics of it. And then first you should write it in a copy, try to explain it to yourself what the problem is trying to say to you. And then initially you will learn it. Like it's not in just 1 week or 15 days you will get hold of it. I took at least 1.5 months to like achieve a full-fledged solution that I used to solve it on my own. So I'm not expecting you to do so. Take your time, but actually, if you are doing it, be consistent on that, and you'll be able to solve questions from scratch in analytics, or you have existing models APIs. My question is how to approach ML at first. I was not very much fluent in ML, Satya, so I can't actually answer that question to you. But I used to use Olama and other models. One thing I'm working on is gaze detection right now. So I actually use LLM models that are present online. So that is one thing I used to not train my model from scratch. Yeah, but I used to give them more context and provide a knowledge base. I used to work on some examples on my own and give it to those models. So that is what I did. What skills or qualities does HackerRank look when hiring for interns? Okay. So that's like I'll tell you my experience. One of my projects was not actually generating a revenue, but I was using it in my college, and they really liked it because my project was not just working on my system, but we were actually using it. It was being used by a bunch of people. So that is what one thing that stood out for me. And what qualities is just the basic DSA skills. They also provide you an assessment with DSA. And a very new question I got in my time was back in November. The first question I got was for a debugging question where I had to fix a question bug. And I had an AI assistant. I had no clue how did it work, but coming here, I realized how does it work and what things are happening behind it. So yeah, skills is like go to your DSA skills and your web development skills. That is going to work for you. Qualities is just like your communication skills, how good your project is, and that are the basic things. And for maybe SD interns, they also look for open source contributions. If not, you should have some solid projects. The people here at HackerRank who have who are doing an SD internship actually have open source, like actually have contributed to open sources. and they have really good projects that are actually generating revenue. I think this was one of the core reasons I didn't land up my internship for FT intern. Was like my projects were not that great for an FT where they were looking out for projects that are actually generating revenue out of it. So yeah, these are the few things you can list down. But skills is not the basic skills other companies are asking to, just DSA and web development. How do you approach learning a completely new technology or skill when a project? Okay, so as I mentioned, I am working on Ruby on Rails. I start the first. This is the mistake I started to do when I started to learn Ruby on Rails. I used to just ask syntaxes from Claude, that how to like how does a function declaration work in Ruby on Rails, how to write an array. And when I used to get it when the AI was giving me, I used to understand it very well because it is just very much relevant and very much similar to Python, like the basic syntaxes. There are a few different keywords that are used there, but very much familiar to Python. But what I did was I actually asked AI to help me out and give me syntaxes on it. And when I started to write it down in my copy, I used to never ever get the full solution correct. Because I was not remembering those solutions. I was not remembering what syntax I had to write here, how to maybe even declare a function. I could not even remember that. Then what I did was I like completely closed AI. I went on a coding, like on a Ruby console, on a Ruby compiler, and then I started to write basic syntaxes, what I learned from AI there, that like I would compare what I have written and what the AI has given, because sometimes AI gives you a very complex code, and maybe you might have been working on very simpler codes. So that was one mistake I was doing, because I was initially following a different approach to write a solution, and AI was giving me something very much complex that I was even getting. So if you're working on a new technology, first try to get into basics of it. I read a lot about Ruby on Rails on web, and understood how it works. Then I used to have notes for it, and I think for me, notes too worked. I don't know if for everyone it does work, or you are good at reading it from the computer only. But when I wrote it down, I used to grab a lot of context from it. So I read a lot about Ruby on Rails from the web. I took examples. I used to write it down like handwritten. How is the array initialized? How is array declared? So for me, that worked. But if you're working with different new technology, you should know the basics from scratch. Like if you're working something, so that is going to help you. When you look at a fresher's GitHub, what are the first things that make a strong impression? For my GitHub was not at all good. I'll tell you, because I used to post like I used to like work on a project locally on my system, and then I used to push it on GitHub. But what many of them did was they used to push the code and like make changes on the GitHub, so they had much more commits. Uh, so yeah, but commits actually work for people. But at HackerRank, I didn't think so that they actually looked for GitHub commits. I saw many people, many FD here who had very less number of commits and with very good projects. So I think for me or for anyone else who has good projects and has knowledge about it, I think GitHub commits will not actually be a problem there. But yeah, what you can do is at least try to have like minimum number of commits there. But yeah, because in a like freshers GitHub, they see actually what projects they are putting, how well they have described the project in the README there. So that is how you can make it look more professional. And for a strong impression, I think I also go and see someone else's commit. So yeah, if you, what you can also do is push your code to GitHub, and then you can make changes there. Any more questions, anyone? Or we can just wind up the session. I think we're just over time. And I hope I have answered all of your questions, and I actually tried to answer all of them very, like, how much context I had. So I hope you got all these answers, and I hope and I wish you all the very best for your upcoming interviews. You'll all do good, and just have patience, and you have faith in you, and your hard work is going to pay off. Don't be disappointed for any rejections you are getting, because that is one thing where you can learn from. I did that too. I learned a lot from my interviews, what exactly mistakes I was doing. Uh, I didn't do very much mock interviews because I was really shy in my college. I used to not go to other people's to actually speak about me. But you can actually use AI mock interviewers now. That is going to be helpful for you, because actually AI interviewer would also tell you how good your communication is, and that will also rate you on that. So you use an AI interviewer for mock interviews. That was going to also highlight your maybe pros and cons you're having in speaking. So yeah, which have a bigger impact, a strong GitHub profile or a strong LinkedIn profile, and why? Jyoti, I think even if your LinkedIn or GitHub are on a medium level, that is going to work for you. It's nothing. Nothing has to be very much outstanding. If you have kept your LinkedIn and GitHub profiles updated, you have good projects on your GitHub, you have maintained it properly, you have given a README file where you are explaining a project well. Uh, what you can do is also provide a link where you have pushed your, you have actually deployed your code maybe on Vercel or on GitHub itself. Uh, so keep also updated there. That is one thing I can suggest you. Uh, LinkedIn profile is just like you should actually have updated all your scores and certificates there. That is going to help you, where actually HRs reach out to you through seeing your LinkedIn profile. Few of them reach out to me because I had kept my LinkedIn updated on based on my certifications and what I was working on, what were my internships I did, and what are the extracurricular activities I was doing. So yeah, these are the things that can make your LinkedIn profile strong. So yeah, that is thing. It's nothing like what bar should a GitHub or LinkedIn profile should have. If you have just kept it updated very well, it will work for you. Okay, then I have a meeting next. I'll drop off this call. I hope you very all the best and do well. Be motivated, be consistent, and best of luck for your futures. Okay, bye bye everyone.
Okay, that's for today's session. If you like this video, please don't forget to click the like button and make sure to subscribe the channel for more such informative videos. So this is Bifu Pradhan signing off.